very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you very much for logging in. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking for you this evening. Well, first up, Google has announced that developers on the Play Store will have to share details of the type of data collected and stored by their app and explain how this information is used. Now, Google will be sharing their new policy requirements and resources, which includes a detailed guidance on app privacy policies in the third quarter this year. Now, developers will have to start declaring information in the Google Play console in the fourth quarter of 2021. Well, moving on to the second headline of today, investment platform Stockl has raised $3 million in a pre-Series A funding round to support its growth into newer markets. Now, the company says that the funding will help it become the platform of choice to invest in global markets across various asset classes. The fresh funding brings the total investment into Stockl to $5 million since it was launched in January 2020. Well, reports suggest that food delivery app Zomato is in talks to invest about $100 million in eGrocer Group first. Now, Zomato's investment is likely part of a larger financing round and may value the Gurugram-based online grocery firm at around $1 billion. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, fintech giant Paytm has launched COVID-19 Vaccine Finder to help people track the vaccine slot availability real-time for over 780 districts in India. The data is sourced real-time from the CoWIN API. Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me on the occasion of Mother's Day, a mom trainer and the woman who's running the Mom's Company. Thank you very much for joining us on the Daily Dispatch. I want to begin by asking you, over the last couple of months, what really has been the mood of the business at this point, and considering that you're managing your home as well as work, being a mompreneur, how has it been the overall journey?
I think the last year has taught us how to multitask and display how well we can multitask as women, right? I think, Priya, to be very honest with you, I think the last 2 months have been tough in general for a lot of people, because it's not just the business, but it's a lot to do with how you manage your team right now. Like the amount of people who have very close friends and family members who have been sick and are constantly dropping off from the whole board is also immense, right? So I think this is times when we stand for each other as a company. We try and help each other out to find whatever needs they have, right? In terms of oxygen cylinders, injections, or whatever. And we have had a few cases which have gone quite rough as well. So I think it's just those times where you stand by each other. On the home front, it continues to be as crazy as possible, because the kids haven't gone down from almost about 3 weeks now. They've been stuck at home. The schools have kind of preponed their summer vacation, which means there are no online classes as well right now. So they're finding ways and means to kind of keep themselves busy. And also I have daughters who are slightly older, so they kind of understand and get the mood. So kind of always settling them down to make them understand that everything is fine, it's not too bad. But yes, we do need to be cautious has also been the mode that has been there. So yeah, lots happening. I think it's the overwhelm of emotions in the last couple of months for everyone, I think.
But for your brand, on the D2C front, it's been so good, the kind of growth that companies have seen over the last couple of months. Do you think that, this is something that you had anticipated in terms of growth? Do you expect that the numbers have come in too soon, earlier than planned?
So yes, to a certain extent, because once lockdown hit, we were all making plans of how is it that we, kind of consolidate and figure out what we will do, because you just didn't know what is going to happen next, right? Like we had this entire model where we were doing doctor network and hospital chats and everything, which suddenly got shut altogether. But online, of course, had a very high boom that we all saw. So the business saw about a 3x growth last year. And other than that, I think it was just that with the pandemic hitting, there were a lot of people who, kind of started focusing on natural, safer options. So in general, brands that stand for sustainability, brands that stand for an ethos which is very strong to natural and safe, kind of saw an uptick in the whole space. which is where I think the business also kind of did very well. We actually made a lot of hires over the last year, and we continue to hire as we speak. So yeah, that was where the business was. So we did see a spike more than what we would have probably anticipated, but it's all good.
So when you talk about the kind of production processes at this point in time, stores are shut. Of course, online is the only channel that's working at this point in time. As far as production is concerned, what is the status at this point? Are you operating? What is in the market that, or have you prioritized SKUs that will reach the market?
So on a production and then from a supply perspective, it's a bit tough. It's not that easy because I think what's happened as compared to last year to this year also, if I compare, right, it's just that the amount of people who have got affected is just so large, because of which a lot of support that we used to originally get from our suppliers, and those suppliers are shut right now. So everything kind of needs a very strong supply chain where you're kind of storing in advance. You have a good leg of stocks that you keep at your end. There is an inventory end that you keep at the manufacturer's end, only because of the fact that everything in the supply chain is extremely strained, from transportation to people not being available to dispatches being really hard from their end, because just the amount of people that are working in every organization has dramatically reduced this time. Right? Because the number of people who have got affected by the pandemic is really, really high. So yes, we are facing certain challenges on those fronts, but nothing which has been alarming so far. The team's doing a great job in managing all of it. And I think just the fact that you've been around for about 4 years and have some systems and processes in place helps you at this point of time to get stuff in.
So when you talk about the roadmap for 2021 in terms of growth for the Moms company, what can you expect in terms of new products reaching the market, new categories that you're looking at diversifying into?
So we of course have a healthy pipeline of products that we'll be launching this year. So we've almost about 15 products that have to launch in the coming year. And luckily for us, we had done most of these developments and tested the products in advance. So we're not like really dependent on clinical labs to kind of go ahead and do the trials for most of them. So we will see in terms of business growth, we're still looking at a 3x growth this year also. We're not reduced any of our numbers at any extent. And also the initial signs that we are getting from the market, also from an online perspective, it doesn't seem like it's impacted very badly. So that continues to be the same. In terms of launches, we have very exciting launches planned this year across all our segments and also newer categories. So that will all start panning out through the year, starting a month from now. So next quarter is going to be extremely exciting for us as a quarter.
Give us some insight as to which categories you're entering into.
So we're launching a couple of products in the face care category for moms. It's been completely driven by what the consumers have been asking us to create. So there are a lot of those products that we have created. We're also looking to launch our baby wipes this year, which we haven't launched. That will be a newer space that we will venture into.
So, when you talk about the kind of fundraising for this kind of aggressive growth, I believe in 2020 you all did a Series B fundraise. So for 2021, are you planning any more further fundraisers?
So we're in talks with investors. We've constantly been in talks with the investors. I think the good thing is that the segment has very heightened demand and an interest from all the investor community. So we're constantly in chat with them, and we should be closing around this year as well.
And I want to ask you absolute numbers in terms of revenue. What kind of targets are you working with for FY22?
So, we closed March at about 10 CR. So we're looking to at least double that for the next March.
Right. Since this is Mother's Day, I want to ask you a question as a mompreneur. What are the kind of learnings that you've got from your children that you apply to business? If you could highlight maybe one or two learnings that you've applied on the business.
I think running a startup and growing children are very similar in a multiple amount of aspects that you kind of go through and see, right? Like it's sometimes there's like, if you have two children, sometimes there's one child who needs more attention than the other one, and you constantly have to prioritize and look at whom to look at. So it needs a lot of attention, which is very similar to what your children also need. I think for me, from what I have learned, while I was growing Myra and Sana up, was that I was extremely research driven. And the fact that I actually create products which my family can use and my kids can use continues to have a very heightened look at how safe I want to create the product. So that one thing flows from one to the other. And the other thing that I like to sort of say, and to all the mompreneurs, especially, because it's also Mother's Day as a message, I think moms live constantly in the space of mom guilt, which is saying that I don't have enough time for my kids. And I like to kind of portray and kind of mention a point here where, I recently learned this from kids, and it's very interesting how kids teach you different things in life as well, right? Where there was a point in time where I was extremely busy and I did not have too much time to look at them. And this was also when the pandemic had just hit, right? There was a lot of confusion everywhere. And you were trying to figure out life in general. And that was the time when the kids were also around, and they just came in one day and said, Mom, you've been very busy in the last couple of days. So what's happening? Then I just had a very honest chat with them saying, there's lots happening at work because we don't know how things will go, whether things will open or not open. And they just turned around and they just told me saying that, relax, you've managed to figure out so far and you will manage to figure out the next leg as well. Right. And for me, that time it was a validation from someone very young coming and saying that, things are going to get fine, for one. And the other, the fact that they thought that I was really doing something that was making a difference as well. Right. So I think both combined together taught me a good lesson that children are constantly watching what you're doing and constantly learning from what you're building.
All right, Mallika, thank you very much for this very interesting interview. And we want to wish all the mothers watching us today a very, very happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Well, time now to wrap up this edition of the Daily Dispatch. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and have a lovely weekend.